Yeah, eat, sleep, fantasy, you rockin' with the best. NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. We talking mock drafts, running backs, better follow the conversation with
John,
Dale, Christian, and Armando. Screaming Eat Nation, we doing what we like. Tune in every week, guarantee we get it hype. Fantasy, football enthusiasts, I know you plan to be joining us on Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Yeah, Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Eat, Sleep, Fantasy.
All right, Eat Sleep Fantasy fans, we are back with another episode, and today's going to be a little bit of a special edition. I have one of my main men, which sounds really gay as I said that, Armando Crespo with me today, and we are going to be doing a Superflex mock draft. Armando, what's up, brother?
You just call me the main squeeze.
Main squeeze?
Oh, main man. Yeah, I'm the main squeeze. Your main squeeze.
Definitely not homosexual at all. Now, here's a couple things. There's a lot of great things going on. And if you would like to be a storming buffalo that attacks...
It's a bison.
Bison, sorry. A storming bison that attacks your fantasy league and tosses it into the air 15 feet, all you got to do is head over to eatsleepfantasy.com. We have our draft kit up, and it is top-notch. I believe, if you believe in what we do at all, head over there. We put so much time and effort into this. We've got 12-plus people, written articles, audio, explaining everything. It is everything you need. Editable rankings that you can sort and adjust to fit your own individual league scoring settings and all those things. It is absolutely incredible. I truly do. I love putting my name behind it because I think it is the best that's out there. And it's only $20 and comes with the year-long benefits, everything that Eat Sleep Fantasy does. So head over to eatsleepfantasy.com, click on subscribe. You want to sign up for the ESF Platinum membership, which is $20. Just takes less than 20 seconds, and you are in, and you have access, PDF files, audio files, everything that you want to customize for your league so that you can win and be that mean bison. So, speaking of mean bison,
John.
Armando.
John, you could sell a fucking pencil, man. Like, you are
that.
just like, you want to go sign up, and you're going to want the $20. So I like it, John. I'm going to fucking hire you, man. You are the man.
I appreciate that, but I think my motivation comes from watching this video that is on repeat on my damn computer screen of a bison getting pissed off and running and hitting this little kid. And it's awful. It's the worst thing. It
looks terrifying.
Ever, but I can't stop watching it.
You told me what happened earlier. What was going on before this video was rolling? Because that's what's fucking crazy.
So, I'll be honest. The more you watch it, the funnier it gets. Okay, but it's this wilderness park where people can go and like experience animals in their natural habitat, right? So stupid.
Is this at the bison range? Is that what this place is called?
No, it might be.
Okay.
It might be.
Okay.
But
people
got too close to this bison. Okay, this is a big fucking bison. It's not like a small little bitty guy. It's a buffalo on crack. And they were trying to pet it, and it got pissed off. So, white people doing what white people do. Somebody gets out a camera and starts filming this guy, and he's not having it. I'm sure everybody see it. All you have to do is just type in Buffalo Girl on Twitter or anywhere, and it's the first video that pulls up. It's got millions of views. Most of those are by me in the last 20 minutes.
We're just over and over. Wow, it's gone up 100 right now, John. Good job.
So the problem is this buffalo starts to charge towards this family of three. So it's a dad and a mom and a little girl who looks about 9 to 10, whatever. As soon as the buffalo charges, the parents run away from their little girl and allow the buffalo to knock the bejesus out of her. Now, the good thing is this. She does a full flip, flies about 10 feet in the air, and lands on her feet, but definitely went through some injuries. And I am not at all trying to say that I'm glad this happened or relishing in the fact of a little kid getting hurt. That's not my thing at all. But the video is quite the snapshot into these shitty-ass parents' lives. So, Armando, you know about buffalo.
Look, I worked on a cattle ranch. I lived in Montana. These guys are fucking huge. I got scared when a cow came up. A cow ran by me. Okay, these things are not a fucking joke. Their heads are like 4x4. If they hit you without their horns, they will kill you. Like they are just terrifying, and they're massive. Like this one looks tiny, and they get so much bigger. So the fact that these parents were touching this thing, like like they're wild animals. Like you know what the worst part about all this is? That they're probably going to kill this bison now because of this. Like it's just it's whatever. I'm too. This is kind of upsetting. It sucks that the kid, got injured and all, but. What the fuck are you doing touching it? Like, it's a wild animal. Like, go enjoy it being in its atmosphere, but don't go near it. Like, it's not what we're there for.
I'm, like, ready to, like, jump into just everything about buffalo that I can find out.
They're cool as fuck animals. The crazy thing is, I don't think these are bison aren't in the wild anymore in Montana. They're like, this is a little too deep for the audience, but like they're still closed off areas. Like there's a place called the Bison Range where they're free to roam for, hundreds of acres and bullshit like that. But they're not free roaming yet. They're fighting to get them free roaming, which they should. I mean, like it's going to happen eventually, but I don't know. Like this is just, this isn't good media for them and they should be free. So, oh my God. Let's talk about something else, John.
Nope. We're jumping into this because they're pissed and they're coming back for it. Supposedly, in the completely credible site of Wikipedia, they are known as the Widowmakers in Africa and kill roughly 200 people a year. I don't know if those numbers are correct, but I'm going to buy into them. That is badass.
They're definitely correct.
And
we used to have to try and push them like when you do cattle move. We had a couple on the ranch, and like the goal was to stay with your horse like pretty much 3 times as far as you would from a cow, because cows won't like attack you, but bison will.
Gosh, he's hit this girl 50 times, and it's a 10-second clip, and I can't look away, and I'm about to have to just minimize my screen.
This is
good Lord.
The crazy. This is her 15 seconds of fame. This is it. She's never gonna she'll never see the light of day again. Maybe on Ellen, because Ellen gives him an extra second.
There you go. All right. So, sorry about that. We had to do some tomfoolery. Back to what is important, and this is fantasy football. So, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing a mock draft together. Armando and I are going to be co-owners of this league. I will defer to Armando on all disagreements. We will disagree on everybody, just so you know. It's what we do. But if there is an argument, Armando gets final say. This is a super flex league. Very simple, which means you have the option to start 2 quarterbacks. You don't have to. But if you're playing in a super flex, you almost always want to start 2 quarterbacks because they are the main point getters in fantasy football. If you're in a crunch, no problem there. But 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, no kickers in defense, and 3 bench spots. Let me randomize our draft order here. We are using...
John, before we kick off, just so we know, is it a 4 for passing or 6?
This is a 4 for passing touchdown league, half point PPR, half point per reception. So that should let you know where we're at with that. And again, we're using fantasypros.com. They have a draft wizard you can set up the scoring settings however you want. That's what we're going to be using there. So, all right, let's randomize draft order. Here we go. And we are drafting at the 7 spot. You okay with that, Armando?
Beautiful. That's perfect.
7. So let me hit start draft here. And all right, the start of the draft is about what you would expect. We've had all 4 of the top running backs go: Saquon, CMC, Zeke, Kamara. Number 5 was Hopkins. And the first quarterback off the board, Patrick Mahomes, goes pick 6. So pretty standard. Hopkins going in that 5 spot. I know that you don't like Hopkins that much, so that makes you happy.
Yep, that's it. I'm glad both those guys went ahead of him. I'm glad Mahomes and Hopkins did not fall to me. I mean, that means I'm going to get some good talent even in the second round.
Yeah, there's a lot here. So let me just go over the top position of players available. If you're looking at quarterback early, Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson are there. Running back, David Johnson, Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, Connor and Gordon. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Julio, Odell, Michael Thomas, Juju, Mike Evans, and all of the tight ends are available. What is your mindset? What are you looking at here, Armando?
Well, right now, like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, I am a big proponent of taking RB in the first round. There's only a few, upper echelon running backs, and after that, it's kind of a wash. So there's a couple guys that I really like. I'm not a big David Johnson fan, but getting him at 1.7 I think is okay. The guys behind him that are still available is Joe Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, and James Conner. And I mean, I'm kind of between the David Johnson, Joe Mixon. Like those are the two guys I'm really looking at. What are you looking at, John?
So if that David Johnson would be my go here as well. I would say get one of the top flight wide receivers. I'd be okay with Devontae Adams here. Or
Right.
Julio, which I know you're low on Julio. So I would say David Johnson would definitely be my play if I was to decide. But I'm not deciding. This is Crespo.
Yeah. So my pick would be David Johnson for sure. I mean, Andrew Luck is still there, but I have no problem taking someone a little later. So yeah, let's go David Johnson.
David Johnson is gone. Wow. Right after that, both the quarterbacks went. Andrew Luck and Watson. They are gone. Aaron Rodgers gone as well.
Wow.
4 running backs, Bell, Gordon, Connor, Mixon gone. And wide receivers that we lost, Michael Thomas, Julio, Devontae Adams.
Interesting.
So here we are in the second round. We get a pick. Again, if you're picking in the middle, it's kind of nice because you have that kind of 10 to 12 picks between each round that you go, which is kind of nice because you can snipe value a little bit more so than if you were on the corners. But with where we are now, let's go backwards. All the tight ends still available. Is this too early for Travis Kelce for you?
Considering that they're all still available, yeah, I think it is. I mean, we are going to, I'm not taking, I mean, I love Travis Kelce. I love George Kittle. I think they're going to outperform some of the guys that are still on the board. But I think I can get someone, if I get Ertz in the 4th round, if I decide to do that, like that's a win for me. Right now, I'm kind of torn. The running backs that are available I don't love them. I like Todd Gurley still being there, Chubb. Quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Matt Ryan. Like I personally think it's too early. I might go quarterback next time around, and I'm kind of leaning towards Odell Beckham. The other guys that are available is Juju, Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans. I have Odell ahead of everyone that's still on the board in my rank. So
Dude,
I'm leaning Odell.
I love it.
So okay,
yeah,
let's go Odell.
I
then.
didn't think we would agree on many things. Perhaps this will be the last. But this gives us a top-flight running back and a top-flight wide receiver with heavy volume for both of them. I am A-okay with that. Superflex is interesting because a lot of people are kind of scramble to get their quarterbacks early. But here's what you got to understand. There is a guaranteed 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL every single week regardless.
Right.
So the depth is there. It's not like running backs and timeshares and all those things. You do not have to rush. You want to make sure you get top flight guys, but you do not have to get quarterbacks all in the early rounds. So,
man, Lay went on a wide receiver run right now. It feels like there's 5 wide receivers went off the board.
Yeah. So let's go over what's left. Kelsey's off the board. At wide receiver, still some top-flight talent. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, A.J. Green, Mari Cooper, Stefon Diggs. Running back, you got Fournette, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones, Devontae Freeman. And quarterback, still lots of guys. Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Wentz, Drew Brees, Jared Goff.
Would you, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer looking at what's available and what could be available coming back around. I think I'm taking Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I like Keenan Allen and A.J. Green a lot, but, I mean, last year Tyreek Hill was the wide receiver one, and he's going to be ready for preseason, and he's not getting suspended. So I think that he's a steal right now. I do love George Kittle. He's the only guy I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe, but no, I think I'm leaning Tyreek Hill. Do you have a
I don't
preference
mind that, and so, I'll say this, the value is there. I am one of those people that, takes a stand with fantasy.
Oh, no.
I usually don't have Mixon or Tyreek Hill or these guys on my roster, but I completely understand it. It's just, for me, and this is a personal thing, I want to root for people I like, and this is a negative thing for my fantasy play because, I would take somebody like George Kittle here because he's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm a Niners guy.
Right.
I never want to root for Tyreek Hill, ever, unless it's to die.
He's innocent until proven guilty.
Well, he pled
Give
guilty.
me Tyreek Hill.
That's the case. He's already pled guilty to choking out and punching his pregnant girlfriend in the stomach repeatedly.
Damn.
He pled guilty to that. But that's okay. Let's pick him, Armando. All right. So, through 3 rounds, we have David Johnson, OBJ, and Tyreek Hill. Our team has a lot of potential, but we have not addressed the quarterback position in the Superflex draft, and we're in the 4th round. So, take it away, Armando. Walk us through this.
All right. So, at this point, I am looking at quarterbacks. The reason why I waited was because I saw Cam Newton there. I saw Jared Goff. Carson Wentz is still there. So, I feel good about that. So I'm kind of leaning Cam Newton. I don't know. I mean, I can be pushed any way right now with any of these quarterbacks. I'm a Cam Newton believer. He's MVP caliber quarterback when healthy, and I think they're going to leave injuries behind. I think they're going to throw the ball more. So I love Cam Newton right now.
Even though Kerryon Johnson, your main squeeze, is still on the board?
I think I think that would be great value and all. But like I said before, RB2s are easy to get.
Okay.
So, yeah, if we don't take a quarterback now, we're going to end up with we'll probably have to go quarterback next round to have 2 startable players. So we might end up with someone like, Jameis Winston and Kirk Cousins. Maybe that could be a little worse than that.
Yeah, I don't mind getting Kirk Cousins going pretty late, but I do not mind that at all. He has been a top 10 fantasy quarterback 3 years in a row. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I do like Cam Newton. I think at a 4.
So what are you saying? I should take a running back? You think I should take Kerryon Johnson right now?
I just know you're high on Kerryon Johnson, and the fact of having David Johnson and Kerryon Johnson, they have the same last name. It would help me sleep at night. Let's go Johnsons. I dream of Johnsons. So
you know what? I would like to see how this team shapes up. I think most people go quarterback early. Let's just take a running back.
Let's be crazy.
Yeah. Let's be crazy. See what the team looks like.
Let's see what happens in a Superflex, and this is why you mock draft. You get to play out. You're not keeping this team anyway, so let's just see what happens and see if we like our team or not. Because right now we are solid as far as starters go. David Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, our starting running backs. Odell, Tyreek Hill, our wide receivers. Like that is clutch. But here we are in round 5. We still have no quarterbacks, but there's so many guys available. Jameis Winston, Ben Roethlisberger, Dak, Rivers, Lamar Jackson, Trubisky, Cousins. There's a lot of guys, but I feel like we cannot wait anymore.
They're all kind of a cluster right now, which is like these guys are all just could be really good. Like Jameis Winston's, just hit and miss. I think Jameis Winston has the most upside with Bruce Arians. I've said that before. So I kind of feel like he could lead our team. He could be that guy that just breaks out and does some magical stuff, or he could just be total shit. So I'm kind of want to take the gamble. I was hoping Jared Goff would fall to us, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a really safe quarterback to grab. But I'm okay taking Jameis Winston, but I could be easily swayed with a good argument.
So the thing with Winston is that's a swing for the fence move. So we've got to get 3 quarterbacks, and I want 3 starting quarterbacks. So I'm 100% okay taking Jameis Winston here, but I'm going to want at least one safe option, somebody like a Trubisky, a Rivers, or a Cousins to pair with that.
Right.
So
I don't necessarily agree with you. Yeah, let's take Winston, and all right, let's do Winston.
We got our quarterback in round 5, and before we move on to round 6, I want to take a second to thank our sponsor, FantasyGo.com. They are unbelievable. They have 2 goals: make people money and help your fantasy team. And you get to pick which one you are. So if you feel like you can help other people, you can go to FantasyGo.com, click on the analyst button, and you can sign up there. And you get to help other people. You get paid to help other people set their lineups, trades, draft, all those things. But if you just want help with your fantasy team, you can go there and click on the other side. And you want to hire an expert, and you can pay $5 to $10. Pick your expert to help your team, and it's a win-win for everybody. And for everybody that has signed up in the past as an analyst, the 2019 season is getting ready to kick off. You can go over there now, FantasyGo.com, and complete your profile so that you can start making some money. So again, head over there, FantasyGo.com. Those guys are awesome. All right, Armando, back at it.
I'm here.
Pick 6. We've got 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Do we need to stay at the quarterback position?
Do you want my honest opinion? I think that a traditional drafter would go quarterback, but looking at the quarterbacks that are available, I think there's a shit ton of the same stuff. Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, Lamar Jackson, Trubisky. I think they're all fine. Who's standing out to me right now, who I think is above and beyond better than everyone else because of injuries? Evan Ingram. You could tell me if I'm crazy.
No.
I think that right now, considering all the injuries over there, he might be a really good pick right now. And then we can get a Kirk Cousins who's, there's 4 wide receiver quarterbacks are still available. We can get Kirk Cousins next round and maybe Jimmy Garoppolo and have those two and still have, we filled out almost every starting position and have, upper echelon guys. But you tell me if I'm
No, I don't think you're wrong. And once we get into, here's the deal. I either go super early tight end, like in the 3rd or 4th round, with Kittle, Ertz, Kelsey, whatever. Like 3rd round, I think is perfect for those guys. But if you decide not to go with those guys or you miss out on them, I don't mind in round 6 or 7 getting one of these tight ends that's available out of Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, or Jared Cook. If I don't get one of those, then I am done. Like, I am getting bottom tier, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant. Like, I am just saying I don't want anything to do with the position. So I have really 3 tiers. The top 3 guys, the next 4 guys, then everybody else. So I am okay with taking Evan Ingram here. It's a little early, but I like the way that we drafted to get those skill positions, the running backs and wide receivers. So I think we could go with whatever way. So Evan Ingram it is. Boom.
Wait. I just want to say that I think there's value to be had in the next round. And I personally see Ingram more in the, Ertz, Kittle, Kelsey category than he is in the Henry, O.J. Howard category this season just because of injuries and the way that roster's shaping up.
I think that's a strong likelihood. I really, really do. It's very easy to see a script through this season where Evan Ingram is, a top 3 tight end.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
So the fact that we waited, the only quarterback that was taken between our picks was Phillip Rivers.
Everybody else went quarterback. So
no, everyone also went other positions. So we have, all the guys. We still have Mr. Trubisky. We still have Kirk Cousins. Like I think that was a good call on waiting. Personally,
and all those other tight ends are gone. Cook went.
Yep.
Ebron went. Hunter Henry went. So yeah, we started that next run. So is now the time?
Yeah. The thing is, who do we take? I'm personally, I think the ranks show that Dak Prescott's higher ranked than Kirk Cousins, Lamar Jackson, but I think I'd rather have Kirk Cousins. He's finished top 10 every year, and the way it's been constructed, I'd rather have a safer pick than trying to swing for fences right now, and I think Kirk Cousins is just that. He might not get you, 30 points every game, but he's going to be consistent enough where you'll be fine.
I like it. It's crazy how much we're agreeing right now. I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy. I love his weapons, and he's just very, very efficient. He sucks as far as like when the game's on the line and it's like a primetime game, you don't want him in there. Like if it's a Monday Night Football game, I'm getting Kirk Cousins the hell out of my lineup. I don't care who they're playing. But if the game is not televised and it's an early kickoff, he is going to be unbelievable. So we have our starting roster completely filled out except for a flex. So let's just walk through it real quick. Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins, those are our quarterbacks. David Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, running back. Odell and Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, and Evan Ingram at tight end. We still have 1 flex and 3 bench spots. Now, let me ask you this, just a philosophical drafting question in Superflex.
Yeah.
You got to have at least 3 quarterbacks, right?
Yes.
Are you a 4 quarterbacks guy?
Depending on the roster construction and how deep the bench is, yeah, I think I am. It just depends on who are my quarterbacks. In one league, I waited on quarterbacks, and I took 4. I liked firing Fitzpatrick super late. I think that was, I think he's going to be a good, good trade bait later in this, after the first 3 weeks. He's going to put up numbers. So I draft quarterbacks to trade, if that makes sense.
No, I like that. Their value is just so high. And so because of that, people want them because other people will get stuck with bad ones. Again, 32 starting quarterbacks. So if you're in a 12-team league, that's 36 if everybody gets 3. So there's going to be a few teams that miss out. All right, so with where we are at now, let's just go over the top at each position. Quarterbacks, you still have Garoppolo, Josh Allen, Stafford, Darnold. Running back, James White, Lamar Miller, Tevin Coleman, Darius Geis. Wide receiver, Pettis, Corey Davis, Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk. And tight ends, Hooper. I don't think we really care about tight ends now that we got Ingram.
No.
So.
The thing is, this is what makes – I just want to talk about this for a second. Austin Hooper is the one thing that makes me want to wait on tight ends because he's improved every season since he's been in the league, and he is just one or two more touchdowns away from being like a top 5 guy, and he's being drafted, outside the top 10. So
let me ask you this question. Okay, we took Evan Ingram at 6.6.
Yeah.
Would you rather have, out of these two makeups, would you rather have Evan Ingram and Dante Pettis, or would you rather have Calvin Ridley and Austin Hooper?
I think what we got, I prefer.
Okay, because Calvin Ridley went the pick after Evan Ingram, and Dante Pettis and Austin Hooper are still on the clock. So, this is what mock drafting can do, is because you can go through it and you can say, oh, shit, I would have much rather had Evan Ingram and Dante Pettis here than I would Calvin Ridley there and Austin Hooper now.
The guy that I'm looking at that I kind of, I feel like I missed out on is Sonny Michel and maybe DJ Moore. Like, I wouldn't mind having one of those guys in my flex position. I feel like DJ Moore is on the precipice of being like a wide receiver. Like, my ranks reflect this, like a wide receiver 14, 16. Like, he's there. And then Sonny Michel could just explode this season. I mean, they took him in the first round last year. I mean, I know Harris is there. That's what scares me about him. But, he could be a top 12 running back. That's the thing about it. And he was win the 6th round. So those are the two guys that I, kind of regret on. But I'm okay with what we have. And that's all, hypotheticals, really. Dante Pettis is still there. And he is also another guy, just like DJ Moore, who could take the next step and become a wide receiver 1. Or get close to it this year.
Yeah, and so my question is, where I'm sitting now, I'm saying Pettis or a quarterback personally.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say the running backs that are available. I think James White, Lamar Miller, Tevin Coleman. I don't think they separate themselves from guys that are going, in the 40s, like Kalen Ballage or like we mentioned before, Chase Edmonds. Like those, I'm fine not taking a running back right now because they're just not going to separate themselves. So the quarterbacks that I like right now. Is Jimmy Garoppolo is really the only one I would consider drafting. And then Dante Pettis are the only two guys I would really, really... I'm going Dante Pettis, I feel like.
Fill out that flex spot?
Yeah, am I crazy?
Well, so the problem is, let's say we take Dante Pettis here, which I like, and Jimmy Garoppolo is gone whenever we pick next.
Right.
Are you going to be okay with that?
Yeah, look, there's the guy that I like right now as a third quarterback that I've been taking, relatively late is Nick Foles.
Nick Foles will be available.
Yeah, so I feel like he has a lot of upside in comparison to guys that might be going ahead of him, like Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen. We don't know what we're going to get with Nick Foles. We might get a full season of Super Bowl Nick Foles. There is that possibility. So I like Nick Foles as my third high upside type guy.
All right.
I don't know if that's crazy to even think. So, am I crazy for taking Jimmy Garoppolo? Let's take Dante Pettis.
All right. Pettis is gone. Love that guy. We have our starting roster completely full, and we're only going to do 3 bench spots on this mock just for the sake of time. But Jimmy Garoppolo did go. In fact, 4 quarterbacks went. So we are looking at Darnold, Dalton, Mariota, Foles, Flacco. So I feel like now is the time. We have to get a quarterback no matter what.
Look, you have to play
to win the game
to the draft board.
Oh, I thought
you
we
have
were
to play.
doing
You play. No, you have to. Personally, I feel like everyone's taken 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Now they're going to be more sporadic in a traditional draft, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking maybe I can get Nick Foles or Dwayne Haskins. A little later, right?
You're going crazy.
This is where we disagree. Like, you have guys like there's a couple guys that have high upside. Dwayne Haskins could be, a high end, mid tier quarterback, and he's fine. And you're not going to need to worry about that right away either. I mean, our bye weeks. Can you scroll up so I can see our bye weeks?
Our bye weeks for quarterbacks are 7 and 12.
Right. So we're not necessarily going to need to worry about quarterbacks right away. for the first 6 weeks, so we can see what happens with Dwayne Haskins and Ryan Fitzpatrick and Rosen.
You crazy?
I know. You want to know who I'm really thinking about taking? This is just because of my ranks.
Ronald Jones.
This motherfucker. Yes, sir.
You would take Ronald Jones over Latavius Murray, Royce Freeman, Miles Sanders.
If you're telling me this guy is an RB1, okay, he's starting running back for an NFL roster. You give me a starting running back on an NFL roster, or you give me Miles Sanders and a running back by committee, or LaShawn McCoy running back by committee, or Latavius Murray playing behind, whatever the fucking guy's name is. What's his fucking name? The New Orleans running back. Whatever. What's his name?
Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray?
Alvin Kamara. I want the guy who's going to get the rock. So give me fucking Ronald Jones. He has the chance to be, a top 24 guy. I don't know. Looking at the draft, maybe he'll follow me next round. But, at some point you draft the guys that you really like, and he is, for me, just tell me if I'm crazy, but he's the guy that I love, and I think he's the best value in this round.
You sexy man, you. All right.
Tell me if I'm wrong, John. Just tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, you're totally wrong. But this is why we mock draft.
No, don't take it. Let's take a chance. Let's take a chance here. Let's not take him, and let's go on a fence and take the other guy like Nick Foles. Or not Nick Foles.
You want to take Nick Foles?
Which quarterback? You pick the quarterback, John.
Yeah, I'm fine with Nick Foles. Big time. I think his job and, Chuck wrote an awesome article that's up on Eat Sleep Fantasy about Nick Foles and his fantasy potential that I thought was really, really good. So we got our third quarterback. Guess what? You're going to be mad at me.
Did he go? You piece of shit.
Ronald Jones with the pick before us. And he's gone. He's gone now. There's nothing you can do about it. So,
and you want to know something funny?
What?
Not a single quarterback went.
So
not a single quarterback.
Here's what I'm going to tell you, children, if you're listening. If you get this mad at missing out on Ronald Jones, then I think
you're doing something right.
Yeah. There's an issue.
Look, my idea was fuck you, John. I missed out on Ronald Jones. My world's over.
If you go on fantasy tilt because you lost it, there's so many guys that are better still there. Dante.
No
Foreman.
one. Based off my ranks, Ronald Jones is a fucking steal in the 10th round. All right.
Nah, I love you, Armando. I'm sorry. We got 2 picks left. How do we want to back this up? I'm assuming you probably still want to go running back and wide receiver. We got our 3 quarterbacks. I'm fine with 1 tight end. How do we want to close this
Foreman.
out?
I don't see the guys that are available. Just so the audience knows, we have Deion Lewis, Hines, Breida, Ito Smith. Who has the best chance of starting? Eventually this season, Dante Foreman, who could be explosive, versus Adrian Peterson, who's good for
I love how
2 or 3
defeated
weeks.
you sound.
I am. You took the one player I'm drafting in every league away from me.
Hey, to be fair, I traded you Ronald Jones in a fantasy trade last year, so you're welcome.
And I appreciate
in real
that.
life, it matters.
Yep.
All right, so we went Dante Foreman in the 10th round. We've got 1 pick left. Man, Armando, kind of walk us through what you want to do. We have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 3 quarterbacks. Last pick, obviously your draft will have more bench spots, but just for time purposes, we are going to cut it short. What would you do here, Armando?
Just so you guys know, the guys available, we got Breida, Duke Johnson, Jamal at the top of the pick for running backs, Marvin Jones, Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate. I'm kind of leaning a little deeper beyond those guys, and I want to look at Cortland Sutton. I know that's Joe Flacco's kind of reduce his value a little bit, but he is going to be the starting wide receiver over there. He's probably going to get the most receptions, most targets, so he has a chance to be, a top 24 guy versus the other guys just being standard, low upside. So I'm going to go swing for the fences, and I'm going to take Cortland Sutton. I think he has that chance of being, the guy over there.
I like it. I like Cortland Sutton a lot. So that finishes our draft, and our projected standings aren't the best. We got a C grade, but we are betting on upside with our quarterback position. If Jameis Winston balls out, then I think great things will happen. And I can tell you this, we have the best running backs and wide receiver tandem in this league with David Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Odell, and Tyreek Hill. We have zero weaknesses on our starting roster.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I like this team. I would be happy to play this out. And this is why you mock draft. So spend some time, make sure you spend some time with just getting familiar with where guys are going, who the players like Ronald Jones, if you got to go get them a little bit earlier. Did that feel like a buffalo just knocking the shit out of you?
Yeah. I feel like a little girl swinging in the air with my legs flopping, hopefully not to land on my neck and die. You know,
and I was the parents running out of the way.
Yep. Sack of shit. God damn you. Lost out on my guy.
I'm sorry.
I don't mean any of this, John. I don't really hate you. Just a little bit.
Just a little. I deserve it, and that's okay. But what you guys deserve, just so you don't miss out on your guys, head over once again to eatsleepfantasy.com. Click on that platinum membership. It's only $20 a year. Get your draft kit, win your league, have fun. That's going to do it for us. Armando, send the people away with some positive words.
Hey, guys. Jesus loves you. Have a great night.
Yeah. Eat, sleep, fantasy. You rocking with the best. NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. We talking mock drafts, running backs. Better follow the conversation with John, Dale, Christian, and Armando. Screaming Eat Nation. We doing what we like. Tune in every week. Guarantee we get it hype. Fantasy football enthusiasts. I know you plan to be joining us on Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Yeah. Eat, Sleep, Fantasy. Eat, Sleep, Fantasy.